Recently, I had a viewer comment on one of my videos asking the question about homes coming back on the market. This person has noticed that there are homes that are under contract and they're coming back on the market, and they wanted to know what my thoughts were on that. So I thought this would be a good topic to talk about in a video. So let's get into that today. We're going to talk about homes coming back on the market and why is it happening. Let's get started. Okay, who's sick of hearing me talk about this seller's market? I mean, come on, I know you're sick of it. I'm sick of talking about it, for real. Yeah. But anyway, what we're seeing now is in this insane market, lately homes have been coming back on the market, whether they're under attorney review or they're under contract. And people are wondering what the heck's going on, why is that happening? Well, I'm going to share with you what my thoughts are, why I think that is taking place today. So first of all, when a home is in attorney review, and by the way, in New Jersey, we have a 3-day, sometimes a little bit longer, 3 to 5 day attorney review period. So what that means is if your offer is accepted, right, buyer and seller agree on a contract, the contracts then go to the attorneys representing buyer and seller. And there is a 3-day period where the attorneys then discuss the contract, they fine-tune everything on the deal, and then once both parties agree and sign off on what the attorneys have agreed upon, then you will then be officially under contract. During the attorney review period, buyers can still submit an offer to the seller. Yes, this happens, and there have been deals that have been blown out because of another buyer coming in and blowing out another person's offer while that buyer is in attorney review with that seller. Just happened to me a couple of months ago. Oh my God, it's so devastating, but it can happen. So I digress a little bit. I'm going to talk about what happens during the attorney review process, why I think they're coming back on the market, and under contract, why I think when a home is under contract, it comes back on the market, what's going on there. So let's get into attorney review. Now, in the attorney review period, it's almost like a grace period as well. You will see deals kind of fall apart during attorney review, but what I think the biggest reason is buyer's remorse. Yes. I mean, think about it. You're in these bidding wars, you're bidding thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars over an asking price, and you're caught up in that frenzy. And I think people then will sit back and think about what they're spending on this house and realizing, you know what, it's going to cost me a lot of money to maintain this house, or the renovations are just going to be way over my budget. You know, they have remorse and they'll end up backing out of it. So by the way, I did a video about that, about buyer's remorse. I did that back in June. That was a really great topic, so check it out if you want to learn more about that. But that is one of the reasons that I'm seeing why people are walking away from a deal during attorney review. Now, another reason why, and this is really, it's kind of crappy, I'm just going to say it. This is a crappy thing. It hasn't happened to me in my experiences so far, but I've heard it happen. Buyers are actually putting bids on multiple properties. Yeah. So if an offer gets, say that buyer's offer gets accepted on a house, and all right, great, they got it, but then they had an offer on house B, the one they really wanted, and then that offer got accepted. Well, guess what? House A is out. They're going to drop that deal and then go to the house that they really want. It's crappy. It is. I haven't experienced that with any of my clients, but I've heard it happen. And listen, it's the nature of the beast right now in this market. You know, people are frantic to get a house and they're doing what they can to make it happen. So that's another reason why. Once a home is under contract, it is a little bit more difficult to get out of the deal. So when we see that happen, a house come back on the market once it's been under contract, buyers automatically think, holy cow, what's wrong with that house? Something happened during inspections. Yeah, that happens. That does happen. Inspections can cause a deal to fall apart. But the biggest reason why homes come back on the market while they're under contract is because the buyer could not get their mortgage. Yeah. Seeing that a lot. That's got to be the number one reason why in this recent market that homes are coming back on the market while they're under contract. So why is that happening? I mean, you're probably saying to yourself right now, well, you got to get pre-approved. If you're pre-approved for the mortgage, you know, that's a done deal, right? No, it's not. So what happens is when the buyer goes through the mortgage process, sometimes things pop up and they find out they really can't afford that house. It happens. Sometimes people will lose their job. during the mortgage process, and that's horrible. I had that happen to one of my clients. It's terrible, but it happens. But that is the biggest reason when a home's under contract why it's going back on the market. It's because they can't get the loan. Again, I think that people are in frenzies trying to get a house, and they're trying to get pre-approved, and they want to be in it to win it. And when they're going through the actual approval process, this is where the lenders really dig deep into your finances to make sure you can afford this house and you qualify for this loan. And just sometimes stuff happens, things come up, and they can't get that loan. So what can sellers do to avoid this happening? Well, your real estate agent who's representing you on your listing, they really need to do their due diligence on any buyer that submits an offer. Now, I know for me, myself, what I do is I vet the buyer and I vet their lender. That's the most important thing. I just had this recently before we accepted an offer on a house. On one of my listings, I actually spoke to the lenders. I had to make sure that these people were definitely qualified. Look, I don't go into details. They're not allowed to share with me their personal financial information, but they give me reassurance that, yeah, these people are qualified, they're solid, they can afford this house. That's the most important thing that you can do. And sometimes it just happens. You can't control everything. And even for those who, you go through buyer's remorse, if you're in an attorney review process and then somebody walks away from a house, you can't always control that. Your listing agent can't always predict what's going to happen, but they are doing their jobs to vet those buyers to make sure that this deal is going to go through and it's going to go through smoothly. So when you're hiring an agent, just make sure that's what they're going to do. That's the most important thing. They got to vet the buyers and make sure that they are solid and qualified to buy your home. Okay, so this is kind of a quick one that I did today, and I hope I answered questions for you guys about that and about homes coming back on the market. And if you want to learn about anything else regarding buying a home, there you go. There's a playlist for you. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching me today. I so appreciate you being here. I'm Jackie Baker with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I will see you next time.